Alright, everybody, we are live on Monday Night Mayhem, and I have here with me, first and foremost, Mr. 10 Planet Melbourne, Frank Barker.
Hey Mo, how's it going, dude? Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
And of course, next we have 1FC fighter Casey Schreier.
Hello. How y'all doing out there?
And of course, my main loyal co-host who has been on the show for almost every show, Mr. Australian top team, Suman Mukhtarin. Here with me, first and foremost, Mr.
Oops, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's alright, man. Suman, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, man. Of course I am.
You're on a high from your win, huh?
Alright,
We'll get to your fight later.
yeah,
But
we'll,
just one of the things. Are you gonna do it again or not?
I don't know, man. Like, people want me to fight again.
I want you to.
Dude,
fight
it's
again.
in you.
Definitely.
It's in you, man.
Gotta
It's
do
in
it.
you.
You
You're a
might-
crazy
you
Malaysian, dude.
actually want to teach us Team SC guys that you train with some things.
Yeah, I just trained for 1 month, man, and it sucks. Training sucks. I'm telling you, after all this experience, fighting in the cage for 9 minutes, that's easy. But training for 1 month every day in and out, that fucking sucks, man.
It's hard. It's hard work.
Yeah, it's
I love
fucking
that.
hard work.
Only 1 month? You're natural.
Oh, man. Oh, man, you guys are
Mate, you
too
got the
nice.
biggest balls on the planet, bro. 1 month training.
We need
mate.
you
Either
to
you're-
teach a seminar.
Oh, fuck off! Come on! I just had 1 month training and you want me to do a seminar? No way.
I've had like
Yeah,
2
do a
fights.
seminar on how to get in the cage in a month. That'll be a sellout.
Alright guys, enough about me. UFC.
No, wait.
What?
Wait, Suman, sorry to interrupt. Sorry, Casey. First of all, Casey, it's nice to meet you, man. Dude, fighting in 1FC and whatnot, man, that's not a walk in the park, dude. Much respect to you. So it's great to talk to you, bro. And I just want to intervene for a second because I didn't watch any of the fights, bro. I've had a hell of a weekend, and so maybe we should talk about your fight first, Mo, and give everyone their thoughts. And then, if you got anything you want me to talk about, I'll talk about it. Then I can let you guys go, and then I can go back to what I got to do. I got to do some bookwork and paperwork. So, can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that. Not a
Is
problem.
that fair enough, Casey? Is that cool with you,
Yeah,
Sumo?
no worries.
I'm down with that.
Because it is 10:30 p.m. in Melbourne, which sounds it's not that late, but I've got a bunch of things I still got to do before tomorrow. So, if you don't mind, that'd be cool.
Alright, whatever my guest wants to do on the show, I let them do on the show. We'll start off with my first fight. My first fight, training for 1 month, coming in. To tell you the truth, actually my game plan coming in was to knock the guy out, but when you are in the cage, it just happens. You don't think, man. Frank, you saw the fight. You tell me what's going on.
Dude, you look skinny as hell. Seriously. You look like a pencil with MMA gloves on, dude. Seriously. And those Muay Thai shorts, man, I was on the ground, man. I loved them. Dude, you came to bang, dude. Like, fucking hell. I watched you come in and you looked like you'd had a couple of fights at least, bro. You didn't look like a total beginner. But that wild swinging right hook, dude, we've got to work on that. We've got to straighten that shit out, dude. Your takedowns, your wrestling, your top control, your balance, your ground and pound on top, dude. For a month's training, man, that was good, dude. That was solid, man. I think I even saw you reach for your shin to pull some kind of high guard at one point in the fight. I was very excited, and then you let it go. But dude, you got some sweeps, you got some takedowns, you threw down. Dude, I loved it. It was really entertaining. Good on you, Mo.
I'm telling you, if you were at the stadium, the whole fucking stadium was chanting and cheering my name. I was shocked. Like everyone, I was in Malaysia. It wasn't even my hometown, and the whole stadium was chanting my name. I can't believe it, man.
Awesome.
Wow.
What did you officially weigh in at?
I think I came in at 53.2.
And what about your opponent?
I think he's around 56 or 57.
Hey. He's on the
You gave away the
Just
weight.
test him.
Still won.
We kind of agreed on a catch weight bout because he's not going to go over 57 and I'm not ever gonna reach 57. So that's what happened, man.
We can bulk you up.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan right now. But I don't know if I want to step in the cage anymore. I don't mind stepping in the cage. It's the training, man. The training sucks. Training is hard, dude.
Hey, join Gracie Garage, man. That'll be easy. I mean, you can learn long distance. That's viable.
I want to see. You know what I want to
No,
see?
I'm serious. You can do. You know they've got like you can online training and stuff like that. Come on, man. At least you can do that. I mean, you can improve.
Oh man. Okay, how about you, Zuma? What do you see about my fight?
Honestly, for a month's training, that was awesome. You know.
It was.
I think that your knowledge in the game helped you. Like watching so many fights and being an analyst and things like that. I think that helped you a lot. I'm really happy that the first thing I saw from you, I saw some leg kicks. I saw you mix it up. You did a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I wasn't too happy about at all. You being
The song, the walkout song.
No. You being an MMA analyst and loving the game so much, I would have thought you'd wear some MMA shorts.
Exactly. What the fuck? What the fuck?
You know, I see you coming out in the Red Bull shorts. And did you get paid by Red Bull for that or something?
No, to tell you the truth, my whole gear, everything, my gear was picked by Sean.
Well, that comes down to Sean either thinking that the whole thing's real funny.
It's funny. I came out with Muay Thai shorts and a pink mouth guard.
Oh. I don't mind the pink mouth guard. The mouth guard was awesome.
Did
But Muay
you
Thai,
tuck under as well? Did you tuck under?
What was the one thing that stood out to you the most? Like in your fight, could you hear your corner?
I did. Actually, in the first round, I did. When he pulls for a takedown, I was sitting up and I was actually smiling because he was putting so much strength to kind of flatten me on the ground, but I didn't even put any strength, so I was smiling and just letting him tire himself out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think overall view, everything was perfect. But I know that what the fans want to see. Alright?
Mhm.
Ultimate beatdown 15. I think the fans, they don't want to see a rematch. Don't worry about what Alan Cole says.
Uh-huh.
No rematch.
Uh-huh.
You won, and that's it. You proved what you had to prove.
Yeah.
Wadi
Uh-huh.
versus, wait for it, guys, wait for it. Wadi in a strawweight fight fights Gary Tang.
Fuck off! I'm gonna lose. No way.
Hey, whoa. Gary Tang
Uh-huh.
versus Wadi. Think about it.
Oh my god, you crazy, man. You're fucking crazy. Gary would kill me.
Look what you did in a month's training. Imagine in 3 months training. You can beat
Exactly.
5. Don't get intimidated by the tattoos and the muscles. Alright?
Oh my.
Gary-
You guys are crazy.
Was watching your fight and he was shitting himself.
Who was watching?
Gary Tang was watching that and saying, you know what? I hope that they don't ever put me with.
Alright. We are live again. Alright, we are back again. I'm so sorry for all the technical difficulties. While we were getting it on, Suman was telling me that he's eating chocolate. Suman, tell me, is that a good advice for someone who is going to have a fight in August?
Always.
Few months.
Just
How about you, Frank? Are you a supporter of eating chocolates before a fight?
Me, I honestly, look. I mean, if people want to do that, that's fine. But for me personally, because I'm a lot older than most of you guys, that's for sure. So I got to take care of business. So I got to try and stay 25 as long as I can. So the only chocolate I prefer to eat is like 80% cacao. So at least I get antioxidants in there. At least it's not so bad. It's good quality. I'll drink a lot of tea with it. So it feels like I'm having something sweet. So I love chocolate, but I've got to keep that shit under control. You know what I mean?
as long as my 6-pack stays and I'm keeping my weight down, I'm happy.
Hey, I'm 37. I don't do the sweets. I don't do chocolate.
At all?
No, can't do it.
Why?
I'm 37 years old. I'm fighting guys that are 15, 20 years younger than me.
Yes.
It takes a lot more work to get rid of that little bit of chocolate.
So I got that fast metabolism thing.
Yeah, and going to 61 is not exactly an easy task.
What are you working at, Casey?
Close to 70.
70. Oh, so
Yeah.
you cut around 9 to 8 kilos before your fight.
Yeah.
And how does that weight
Wow.
cutting go? Is it a
Right.
few days or 1 week?
It depends. The fight with Raymond, it dropped 13 kilos, I think, or 12 kilos in 15 days. So that was a little bit difficult, I guess. But this last one wasn't so bad. I kind of watched my weight and stayed around 68 and dropped it in like 3 days.
Yeah, I believe Samir helped you a
Yeah.
lot. Samir is like the number one guy for weight cutting in Malaysia.
I've been practicing it for the last couple of years just from jiu-jitsu tournaments, just because you can't get punched in the face. So if you cut weight like that and you get tired, so what? You just tapped. So
Yeah.
that's helped a lot.
All right, man. Guys, I think it's enough about my fight. I want to move on to UFC, but before that, Frank, what do you have for us this week?
Oh my God. Geez, I just tried to recover last week, to be honest, because Eddie left, as you know, from his Australian tour. And I got to be honest. Although I've been trying to catch my breath, but we've had so many updates and some tweaks. When Eddie comes down and he holds a seminar, man, he structures that shit. Like he knows what we need to do to step up our game. So he teaches a lot of tweaks, and I write all those notes down and we film it. I break it down. I pretty much run my MRI.
Your MRI? Oh man, Casey, say something.
We've been working our asses off, getting that information into them. So I've been flat out, dude. So there's nothing too exciting other than hard work.
All right, man. Maybe we'll catch you up next week. Maybe we have some UFC or not. I'm not too sure whether we have UFC next week.
All right. This weekend coming up, I'm in Brisbane. So if anyone wants to come down to 10th Planet Seminar, it's at the Australian Combat Academy in Brentdale. Please go to my Facebook page for details, or go to the Australian Combat Academy page for details. And there's a phone number down there, so if you need to call him, please do so. That's it. 10thplanetjjmelbourne.com. Any questions you have, if you're in Melbourne, drop in, train with us. It'll be great to see you as our guest. Also, if you're interested in picking up any gear, 10th Planet merchandise, whatnot, go to 10thplanetjj.com, click on store and buy the whole shop. It's worth it. It's awesome. It's great quality. Looks great. Help yourself with that. Also, there's a forum on there called the Nibiru Forum, and Eddie's on there. I'm on there. A lot of the heads of state, all the people, all the moon heads around the world are on there, so please feel free to get on there. Or you can hit me up on Facebook at Frank Barker, Barca. You can hit me up there, and if you have any questions about 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu or anything else you're interested in, hit me up. And thanks again for having me, Mo. And again, congratulations. Awesome performance. Suman, always great to talk to you. Casey, nice to meet you informally. Good luck with your training, bro.
Same here.
All right. Bye, Frank.
Thanks, Mo. Ciao.
Okay. All right. Now I have with me Suman Mukhtarin and Casey Shwaya. I want to start off
I
with.
was gonna ask you something, Wadi.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want us to invite a special guest onto the show?
Who do you have?
Ian.
Ian is here.
Yeah. How do I add him into the call?
You just put him in, but he have to. No, the thing is, he have to add me up on Skype first.
Oh, he has to add you on Skype.
Yeah. Then
What's your Skype?
Muhammad.Hazwadi. Then after that, I can add him up to the call.
Wadi.
All right, bro. You do that. All that stuff, and Casey will break down for me the first fight. Casey, can you see what's happening on my screen?
For the UFC?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Tae Hyun Bang versus Cajun Johnson. You watched that fight?
No, I didn't. I didn't catch anything until the main card, unfortunately.
I saw it.
All right, man. Suman, you tell me about it. Bang got a shin kick to the head, and he just went forward and give that right hook, and Cajun Johnson just went down.
Man, I'll tell you something.
Wow.
When I saw this fight, I just realized Bang had no respect at all, right? At all for Cajun's power. It seemed like he did not care what was being thrown at him. He just kept wanting to walk forward, cop a few hits, like cop 4 hits to give one back. Man, it was something like I thought in the second round. In the first round, Cajun got dropped. He got dropped with, I think, a left hook. And I thought the fight was over there. Cajun recovered well, came back in the second round, won the second round. I think landed 4 takedowns or something in the second round, used his grappling. and then in that last round caught that kick on his head and came forward with that right hand and put him out cold, one hit. Bang has some power, and I think he relies on it a lot. Cajun was looking good, and man, after the last defeat he had on the show when he broke his jaw, for him to come back and he put on a good performance, got fight of the night. It was pretty bad to see him go down the way he did. He's had two pretty bad knockouts in a row, but I'm sure the UFC will have him back.
Yeah, man. With a name like Bang, he truly lived up to his name. Then this is his second UFC fight. Moving on. Casey, did you watch OSP and Ryan Jimmo?
Yeah, I watched that fight.
Okay, I don't understand that fight. What happened was I know OSP was going for Kimura, but Jimo's Kimura on his left hand, but Jimo's right hand actually broken.
Yeah, he called it the chicken wing. Wasn't sure what had happened to it, but yeah, it got twisted up somehow. I think it must have broke his shoulder or snapped something in his shoulder.
Yeah, you look at that. He was going for his left hand. Oh, you can look at that. And he breaks his right hand.
It could have been something in the takedown as well.
Yeah, man. I don't know about that, man. Suman, you watch that technique? What's that called?
That was actually the one fight that I missed. Sorry.
All right, man. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We move on to Arlovski and Shaw. Is it the return of Andrei Arlovski?
Negative.
Negative. Yes, I will agree.
That was a kind of a boring fight. Very uneventful. Although Schaub did get his face swole up pretty good on there. The fight was pretty even, really.
And do you agree with the decisions?
I think it could have went either way. Nobody really did enough to really win the fight, except for maybe that they look at damage and Schaub's face was kind of growing an extra little head out of his jaw.
Yeah, but he tweeted that he was okay. But I don't know. Heavyweights is very hard for them to be for us to be excited about heavyweight. So and this fight doesn't move up. We're waiting for Dos Santos and Miocic and something else. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening. Rory McDonald versus Tyron Woodley. I knew Tyron would get jabbed to death, and he got jabbed to death. I was expecting a bit more wrestling prowess from Tyron, but
I was really surprised that Rory was able to walk him backwards like that and just control the cage. I mean, he just took it to him. I thought Tyron looked a little bit sluggish. He definitely looked like he was tired. So I don't know if he had a hard weight cut or not, but he looked like he was struggling to get any kind of energy or any kind of momentum in this fight.
How about you, Zuman? I know you don't like Rory a bit. I actually like how Rory fights.
I hate Rory. And then watching that fight, I was actually happy because for the first time he looked like he actually wanted to win. He actually looked like he wanted to make a statement, and I think he did. Even though he didn't get the finish at the end, he was dominant, And I think the dominance showed in the way, like you guys said, he walked him down, he cut him off, and he just stood right in front of him, kind of picked his shots, picked him apart, and then even in the third round, took him down. When Woodley was shooting, he was so scared. It just seemed like he was worried about everything that he was doing. So he was just watching him. He would have a lazy shot, and it would get stuffed every time. I don't think Woodley even got one takedown, and then in the third round, Woodley got taken down. So I think it was a better performance from his opponent. It's kind of a hit or miss. He sometimes looks like he wants to be there, and sometimes he looks like he doesn't want to be there. Even against Maia, even though he won, he didn't really look like he wanted to be there at stages in the fight. But this fight really looked like he wanted to make a statement, and I think he did. Is it enough to get him a title shot? I'm not too sure right now, but that fight would definitely be one of the fights that would put him a bit further ahead for it. It was a great performance.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, he should be number 2 right now, and he should be in line for the title. But Dana says whatever happens in this fight, Rory is not gonna get a title shot yet. He's gonna go to either Robbie Lawler or Matt Brown. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
How about you, Casey?
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, I agree with that as well. Moving on to the main event, people are calling Johnson like the best pound for pound, 7 fight win streak. What's made DJ so good, Casey?
Speed kills. I mean, his technique is really is flawless. Watching his footwork and actually listening to Matt Hume on the cage
Mhm.
and hearing some of the techniques that he was calling out to do, and DJ following exactly as prescribed what Matt Hume was saying. Matt Hume was excellent in his coaching.
All right, man. How about you, Suman?
Yeah, I was actually going to say the exact same thing. I don't think that two people gel better than Demetrius Johnson and Matt Hume. Uh, the way I look at it is Matt Hume. Yeah, and Matt Hume's been around the game for a while. We know he works a lot with 1FC. He's working with fighters all the time. Now, if you look at Matt Hume's gym, I was watching the countdown video, and it seemed like some of the training partners for Demetrius Johnson weren't really up to his level. And I was watching it, and I'm like, oh, how is he getting pushed? You know, it just seems like he's kind of walking through the guys and this and that. But then I realized after the fight, it's just that Demetrius Johnson is just that good. You know, he can make people look silly by being in and out and making them miss punches, and he's so quick to get onto him. And the guys might not be at his level, you know, but him and Matt Hume click on so much, and he listens to every word that he says. You know, he just looks like one of those really coachable guys. And Matt Hume has gotten into him and done a great job with him. He's I think every coach's fantasy.
Okay, who can beat this guy? I think I seriously feel John Dodson should be next up for the title fight.
I think Dotson has a chance to beat him just because he has a lot of power and he's fast as him. But again, if DJ stays on his game and he really wants it, I don't see anybody beating him.
How about you, Suman?
I don't see anyone beating him for a while. Honestly, I kept thinking, is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one? The flyweight division, in all seriousness, isn't that strong. In the UFC, we know that we've got great fighters in there. It's not that strong, and it's not a wide enough variety of fighters to be able to throw names out. Now, I know that he hasn't been fighting for a while. He hasn't had a fight in a while, and everything like that. But man, I think that the only person, and he needs a win to get back into that, is Ian McCall.
Yeah.
We see. I think that Ian McCall possibly won that first fight that they had. I think Ian McCall won that first fight. The second fight, again, it was close. It was back and forth. We see Ian McCall can take him down, gets taken down. Now, Demetrius Johnson has gotten better, but I think that if Ian McCall is on his game and he gets maybe a bit of a warm-up fight or something, Ian McCall could be the man. Even though he lost to Benavidez, I think it still could be him style-wise. Ian McCall just doesn't give a fuck, and I think he'll make for a great fight.
It's one thing we hadn't mentioned. DJ is pretty young, right? He could still get better. So it's a scary thought. Bagatinov is really, really quick, and he made him look slow. So I don't think we've seen the best out of DJ just yet.
Yeah, I feel that, if DJ just sweep the whole flyweight division, he has to go up. Like, I remember DJ having a fight with Dominic Cruz, and it was entertaining as hell, and I would like to see that fight again. All right.
Yeah, I want to see Dominic get back into the cage, man. I really want to see Dominic versus TJ Dillashaw.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I miss Dominic Cruz so much, but we have to move on to the Asian scene now. We gotta move to 1FC. I believe, Suman, you watched a few fights as well. Casey, you were there in Jakarta. How was the?
Yeah. You see that? You see that little picture right there?
Yeah, the Pitbull, Francino Tirta.
A little shout out to Francino.
Is he? What's his record now?
16-0-1.
Wow, man! Like that's a record. That is a record. That's an awesome record, and to think that there's a guy that's 16-0. And I hadn't even heard of him before that night, and he's that's all I'm hearing about now.
All right. Firstly, Jakarta, how was the crowd like? How was the Indonesian crowd? Has MMA swept Indonesia by storm?
You know what? When we first got there, I was really doubtful that they were going to have a pretty lively event because The Jakarta traffic, you never know. It was pretty empty at the beginning, but after a couple fights, it started to pack up, and by the end of the show, they were rowdy. They were very lively. You could hear them from the dressing room, yelling and screaming at every little moment of action. So it was pretty cool to see that they're starting to come around.
All right, man. That's great. First fight, I didn't get to watch most of the fight, but first fight was Desi Rahayu versus Ella Tang. You watched that fight. You tell me what happened.
It was the Indonesian Ronda Rousey show, basically. For a grappler versus striker matchup, the grappler, the judo girl, Desi, just basically dominated. She came forward, she was aggressive, and Eve, she never seemed like she was comfortable being in there with her. Now, after the first round, looked like Desi was going to run out of gas, but she pushed forward and just dominated. She couldn't finish her. I think it might have been nerves, some of the submissions that she went for. They were a bit loose, but wow, I mean, just an impressive performance.
All right, man. Moving on to Barbot, Muhammad versus Zuli. That's
Yeah.
some crazy shit, man.
You know, I love Zuli. He's a warrior. He gets out there and he bangs with anybody. He's not scared of anybody. But this guy is fighting in a couple weight classes above where he should be. I think he's. I looked it up. He lost 5 of the last 6 and 8 of the last 12. A couple of them by pretty bad knockouts. And for his health and his well-being, I don't know if he should be fighting anymore if he doesn't drop weight classes. He's carrying way too much muscle or body weight, for his frame.
Suman, you watched that fight. It was crazy. It was just like a one punch knockout after that uh triangle time or an armbar
Yeah.
time.
The slam, man. You know what it is? It's these Iranians.
Yeah.
You know, we can see that Zuli was underweight in that fight, but these Iranians and that they just came. I've got like 5 guys in my gym who just do the same thing. When you put them in a triangle or an armbar or something, they slam their way out. And man, like some of the strength that these guys have, he must be. I'm thinking Muhammad must be a wrestler or something from Iran. So yeah, man, it was a scary knockout. And then when I did look back at Zuli's record, I saw that I think it was Muhammad's pro debut.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was his pro debut, and then he had fought a much more experienced guy. But then I looked back and I'm like, man, he has really jumped around. But at the same time, he's fought some decent guys. Man, he fought Adam Kaum. Kaum is no joke.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes he's a bit too tough.
Yeah.
He's a bit too tough for his own good. You know what I mean?
He fights like an old school Vandalay where he just walks forward and just tries to knock your head off. And if he doesn't knock your head off, you get a clean shot on him. It's a tough way to fight. I mean, entertaining for the crowd, definitely, but not so good on your health and on your brain in the future.
I'm sure the home crowd didn't really like seeing him go down like that.
Not at all. And I didn't like seeing him leave on the stretcher either. Muhammad was actually a little bit disappointed because he said, 3 months of training and that's it. It's only a couple minutes into the fight. And he said, I wanted to show more. I said, well, that was pretty impressive for a couple minutes.
Yeah, man. I think it's always like that. You can go out and beat a guy up for 4 minutes and 49 seconds and look amazing, and then you're like, but I wanted to do more.
Yeah.
It's always like that.
All right, man. Next fight, PTT's Gianni Suba versus Rule Catalan. I believe Suman, you were rooting for your guy Gianni. How do you think that fight went?
Yeah, man. Gianni's a young guy. He's only 21 years old. But he's a stud. You know what I mean? If we look at his record, he's 4-1, 2 TKOs, 2 submissions. He came out and showed a triangle in one of his in this fight. He's a versatile guy. I think the last fight with Eugene may have kicked him up the ass and made him want to do more. But you're gonna remember he backed up within 6 weeks. It was a good way to come back. Good job for Gianni.
How about you, Casey? The triangle technique.
He was slick on the ground. I love the elbows on the side of the head. It's hard to triangle those little skinny guys with those skinny necks. It's really hard to get the thing tight if you don't pull on the head and get the arm across. But man, it was really, really slick for him to catch that twice.
I think it was good that in the last fight, some people were saying Gianni's going to have his hands full with his opponent, and then he came into this fight, and we all kind of knew Gianni was the favorite in this fight. But he took it on and he looked good. So hopefully he can kind of try and climb up the ranks again in the flyweight division. You know, he is a young guy, like I said. He's only 4-1. So who knows, man? Being that young and being that skillful, you know, who knows where he could be in 5 years' time.
Oh yeah.
Alright, another scary knockout I saw on 1FC Jakarta, Dej Damrong versus Joman Oman's Casey, you saw that.
Whoa, I don't know how to say his name, but wow. You know, some of the knees to the head, and I mean, he was relentless. Beautiful technique. You know, if this guy learns some ground games, man, the division better watch out for this guy.
Yeah, Suman, you saw that fight as well, I believe.
Yeah, man. The first, let's see, I didn't watch it at the start. I didn't watch it live. I watched it afterwards, and the thing that really made me watch it was I went on Facebook and I saw Chatri wrote on Facebook. Chatri Sityongtong, he wrote on Facebook that we've just now witnessed the highest level of striking in MMA. You know, and I was really intrigued. Like, you know, they've got big raps on him, and coming from, I think he came from Evolve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Coming from Evolve, we knew that he was going to come in there and be like that, be relentless. And he came in, man, and he did a great job. It was scary to watch, you know, seeing an extremely high-level Muay Thai guy like that with 4-ounce gloves on is fucking scary experience. And yeah, man, it was great to see that. But I don't really know what's going to happen here for him. Like, we know that he's a Muay Thai fighter. We don't know too much about his ground. Are they going to give him he is only 1-0, fair enough. But you got to remember, now they're on the 1FC stage. So where does he go from here? Does he fight another guy who's got maybe a losing record or something, but a bit more experience? Or after seeing a TKO like that, I don't think many people are going to be wanting to put their hand up to fight with him, especially if they're a stand-up guy. So it'll be interesting to see what the next matchup for him is.
Yeah, his next opponent better know how to take him down and know some good wrestling to hold him down, because I wouldn't want to stand with him.
You know what, even taking him down, you know what? The thing is, though, guys, taking a boxer down is one thing. Taking a Muay Thai guy down is something else, you know? You got to watch out for the knees. And on top of that, even when they hit the floor, I've seen some of these Muay Thai guys who know nothing about the floor. Man, they start throwing elbows from the bottom and wherever they can, they split you open.
Yeah, true.
It's a scary experience. He's a scary guy, and I really want to see his next fight. I'll definitely be watching that one live.
All right, I have Ian on. Ian, are you there?
How's it going?
Hey, man. All right, I just want to give a shout out. Ian's going to fight in UFC New Zealand very soon. How have you been preparing for the fight?
Same as usual, really. I've been at top team, doing my jiu-jitsu real live, you know. The wrestling with the Leones, outright with Lasita. Same as usual, really.
Alright, man. Did you get to catch 1FC in Jakarta?
Yeah, I caught bits of it. Living in Thailand, it sometimes isn't the best. You have power cuts.
Oh, that sucks.
So I caught bits of it.
Alright, did you watch the Burmese guy, Aung Lang Sang versus Mahmoud Salama?
Do you know, I'm going to be honest, I did watch some of the fights, but don't have a clue what half of them were called on that card.
Alright, it's okay, because I have with me what if...
Usually when I see it, I watch it, and I'm a fan of Asian MMA, and there's some Burmese guy. Is that the guy who's not actually Burmese and lives in America?
Yeah.
Is that the one we're on about?
Yeah, man, but it's okay.
Yeah, he's quite good. But he's not Burmese, he's American.
Yeah, he's not Burmese, he's American. That's true. That's fucking true. But anyways, I have my very own correspondent 1FC fighter Casey Schweier who saw that fight. I cannot get any footage of that fight. Casey, American/Burmese Aung Lang Sang, how did he perform in his win?
That guy is a monster. You know, actually, it looked like it'd be a pretty even fight at the beginning. I only got to watch the highlights of that one actually, because we were starting to warm Francino up in the back. But to be able to take it down, be on the bottom, and then and get a nice sweep and then get on top and just start dropping bombs, it was a quick fight.
All right, moving on. Suman, did you watch Gehe and Kentaro Watanabe?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, how did that fight go?
Man, see, when the fight started, I thought, I say again, the names are really hard.
Yeah, Gehe.
Yeah, Gehe.
Yeah.
Gehe and what do you call it, Kentaro or Watabi or Watambi?
Kentaro Watanabe.
I see. I never saw too much of Kentaro before that ONE FC fight. Now, the first thing I did as soon as I saw the team was I went on to Sheerdog, and I went on to a Sheerdog. I kind of try and suss the guys out, see who they fought. Firstly, like I always say, you can't ever count out the Japanese guys. Especially the ones that fight in like Shudo and things like that. Now, when I saw the photo of him, I thought, gee, this guy is extremely ripped. He looks great, He had a bit more experience. The Japanese fighters tend to fight a bit more, but what I've really realized lately is these Team Lakai guys that are coming out are awesome. All around, they're doing real well. The last loss that he had was to Andrew Leon, and he went to a decision with Andrew. Again, Andrew's a beast grappler. He's a great MMA fighter. When I saw that he beat Eugene as well, I didn't really know what to make out of this fight. But again, the Lakai guys come out, prove their toughness, and show that sometimes experience isn't everything. And he put on a great performance. Is he getting a title shot now?
Yeah, he's gonna get a title shot with the main event.
Wow. Now, okay, so he's getting a title shot now, and again, it's one of those questions: is he not experienced enough? Like, has he gone too high up, too quick? What's happening? But like, I know a lot of people would be saying, Andrew Leon should be the one getting the title shot, and then there's others saying, he hasn't really made weight in his fights. So yeah, it's one of those things that even if Geje wins, then who's next? Andrew Leon, or if he's staying at flyweight, I don't know. But again, experience isn't always everything. So, and it was a great performance. Lakai is legit.
Yeah, talking about Andrew Leon, Ian, I believe you have been training with him for the past maybe almost half of your life with with Andrew. But the thing is, Andrew didn't make weight fighting Gehe, and he didn't make weight fighting Shinji Kojima, and I don't think ONE FC would be keen to make him do flyweight again.
Yeah. If you don't make weight, you can't get a title shot, unfortunately. Andrew, as soon as he makes weight, I think whoever has the belt, it will soon be Andrew's. I'm sure Andrew will be fighting at that weight again, because that's the only way he wants to. And he can make the weight. He's just been unfortunate with a few things that are in his weight cut. He had a knee injury his last fight. He couldn't run the last 2 weeks of the fight. And to be fair, everyone was criticising Andrew for not making weight. I was proud of him just for fighting. He managed to get the guy back. He fought with the knee injury Andrew had. He flew back to the States to have surgery on the knee about, I think, 3 months before he fought. 4 months before he fought. We kept quiet. And then he came back into training and he couldn't run. And he still decided to fight, decided to do a really, really big weight cut, and he just couldn't do it. But I think as soon as he does make the weight, that kid's all day long.
Yeah, man, that's pretty sad. But more good news. Casey's man, Francino Tirta, 16-0, co-main event of the evening. I believe you must be very, very happy with the performance.
Very, very happy, very proud. If that was supposed to have some ring rust on it after nearly 3 years of being outside of the action, man, wow! Wait till he gets warmed up. It was exactly as we had expected, exactly as the game plan. So yeah, it was great to see him.
So what's next for Mr. 16-0 Francino Tirta?
That's up to Matt Hume and ONE FC, but I would man, there's a whole bunch of guys right in front of him on that little list that you made up for the bantamweights. That would be great to match him up with.
Yeah, talking about the list, I'll be coming up with featherweight and flyweight rankings very soon by the end of the week, so that you guys can know who should be fighting who and maybe have some imagination of the next few ONE FC events. But Suman, I want to talk about Rob now. Who is Rob facing in Taiwan?
Would not be able to tell you.
I believe Ian won't be able to tell me as well, but would it be...
Me and Rob are very close. I think Rob's got a child on the way, and I'm going to be godfather. I don't think I'm allowed to say who Rob is fighting, but I can't wait to ONE FC give him a title shot, because that guy's done a really ONE FC champion by one way. I can't wait till they give him my hockey. I hope they give him my hockey. I really, really do. To me, I just love to see that as a fan.
Alright, man. If you guys can't say it, then I have to wait for it, man.
It isn't hockey. It isn't hockey.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I believe Taiwan's card have been shaping up very well so far. But before we talk about Taiwan card, Ian, did you watch the main event?
Yeah.
How was the fight, and how do you feel about it?
There's the Randolph triangle. To be honest, I think before the fight, I predicted who was going to win.
Yeah.
And I was right. I'd like to see him maybe fight somebody better.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I think so too as well. How about you, Suman?
No, really say. I mean,
Same thing. Like,
finished it earlier.
Okay, how about you, Suman? The main
Same thing.
event.
I kind of looked at the fight. I saw Adriano in the fight with Suzuki, and I thought, man, what's going to happen here? Like the records are pretty similar. Now, Adriano is fighting. What's his name? We just spoke about him.
Kosuke Suzuki.
No, he fought him.
Yeah.
So what's next? Who is he fighting? Who are they claiming for? I saw someone write something about who Adriano was fighting next.
He will be fighting Gehe for the title.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, again, it's one of those things like what happens with Andrew Leon. You know, these guys are winning, but you just had Adriano Moraes fight Suzuki, it was Suzuki's first ONE FC fight, and now Adriano and Thing are fighting for the title now. If he's fighting for, if Suzuki's in the fight, in his first fight, possibly in title contention or could have taken the title, I think Andrew could be there. I know that even Ian did say, you know, if you're not making weight, you can't fight for the title. But it's one of those things that questions are going to keep getting asked. I know that ONE FC want to see him make weight once, at least to give him a title shot. But man, it's one of those things that you just, what's next for Andrew Leon? Like, who does he fight next? So I want a lot of questions to be answered.
I think what next for Andrew Leon, which I love him, is a weight cut where he makes weight.
Yeah.
Weight cut where he makes weight, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. And I think he will do as soon as he gets his next fight. But I know Andrew decided to take maybe 6-7 months off where he's working on jiu-jitsu and like that. So I'm sure when Andrew decides to come back, I'm sure ONE FC know the circumstances about Andrew's knee and how most people would have pulled from the fight. And I think maybe we should be a little bit more accepting that at least the kid got involved with the bad knee and didn't pull.
Oh yeah, man. Casey, how about you? What do you feel about the main event?
You know, it was a good matchup. You know, Suzuki, even though he was his first match in the ONE FC, he was on like a 6-fight win streak, I think. You know, the guy was a beast. So it was an interesting matchup for me. I'm surprised Adriano performed as well as he did. He did look like he was a bit dehydrated for the weigh-in. It was a pretty tough cut, and I think it'd be the same for just about anybody trying to go to that weight. Um, I considered it, but I really don't. I don't really care to go through that. It looks too painful. Um, no, it's a good fight, and I think it's going to be a tough matchup for Gehi with Adriano's experience and also with his height because the guy is pretty big for a flyweight.
All right, man. Enough for one FC. Casey, you know you are up on the on the bantamweight rankings, number 10. But I think maybe Francino and Tirta have already shake some of the rankings. But who do you want to fight next in one FC, and when can we expect to see you again?
Man, I've been begging to get on one of these upcoming cards. They got a couple big announcements coming up from what I gather, but I guess we can expect a card for sure confirmed in Japan in October. There's one confirmed in Cambodia in September, and the August location will be released, I guess, probably this week. So I would hope to get on one of those cards. It's whoever they have for me. I know who you want me to fight. But we'll see, and who knows? Maybe me and Francino can get on the same card.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. Thank you for coming on the show, Casey. I'll move on to Mr. Ian Empty, who's going to fight in UFC New Zealand. Any shout outs, anything you want to say?
I just can't wait to fight, to be honest. I can't wait to get in there. I'm really excited about the fight and I can't wait to put performance on.
Oh man, you're just funny, man. Suman.
I'd like to shout out to Daniel Hooker's leg because I'm going to take it home with me if that counts.
Alright, how about you, Suman? What do you have for us this week before I let all of you guys go and I have to move on to Ultimate Beatdown?
This week, I just have a young guy from my gym, Trent Nino Loco Gordo, fighting for his second Australian title. He fought for the K1 title about a month ago. He won the Australian K1 title, and now he's a K1 fighter. Now he's going into a Muay Thai fight, and he's fighting for the Muay Thai belt. So a bit of clinching, a bit more kneeing. We'll see how he goes. He's coming after every belt really in his weight class, so he's pretty determined to get him, and he's been going well at training. So he's the only fight. We had heaps of fighters fighting this weekend, and we had two shows, but so many pullouts of people not wanting to fight last minute. So now everyone's just going to get behind Trent, and Ian was at Trent's last fight ringside screaming. So
I love Trent.
Yeah.
He's like a mini Rob Lasita. That's the only way I can put him. Just like his little brother.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone so like Rob. Which is strange. Rob was one of a kind, but turns out there's two.
So you can imagine what Trent fights like. He's a bit punch drunk already. But he's gone well. He's a young 16-year-old, and I'm sure that after this weekend we'll have 2 Australian titles.
I have something before we go. We're still discussing ONE FC. I don't know if you've talked about it or not, but did anyone see that thing that Adrian did, that 10-minute thing?
No, I didn't get your question. What was that again?
Did you see the 10 minutes thing on ONE FC, the Adrian Pang thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get to see it, but
So you didn't miss much. That guy, if he's listening, I hope he's listening. Will someone tell me he's an idiot?
Adrian Pang?
Please. I like ONE FC, I am a fan of ONE FC, but Jesus Christ, please don't put him on a 10-minute thing and have him speaking ever again. Wow.
You know what?
Turned it off.
Right after we get off this,
He's trying to tell us he's doing it hard. He was in a £500,000 house, pointing at his teeth, he pointed at his curtain saying, look, I've got towels up. He should have come to my town in England, we don't have windows. Special.
Oh man, you guys.
He's not from Hong Kong. I don't care who they're trying to kid. He's definitely from London.
Yeah. That's true, man. But
Then,
that's
it's
how.
not even that much. I clicked his Twitter. I went to
Yeah.
Twitter. It took everything inside me not to comment on every single one of his tweets and just write idiot. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? It's crazy.
No, I'm
I
telling
think
you.
I'm better again now.
I'm telling you. One day, one FC will say Casey Schweier is Indonesian.
I,
Rob,
I, I
you know,
honestly, I'm a big fan of when
Working on the
I
passport now.
like it, especially when they have the good cards on.
All right, guys. We'll talk about this another day. Thank you so much for coming on to my show. Maybe next week we have UFC or something on. Then I'll call you guys again. You guys are lovely. I love to have you guys on the show. Thanks for coming on. See you guys again.
Appreciate it. That's what I.
thanks, bro.
All right. Thanks, guys. All right. Moving on to closer news. Closer news, but before that, I want to troll Suman for a while. Moving on to closer news, I'm gonna get Mr. Oh. I'm gonna get Mr. Alan Cole, who was at the event, and he's not picking up my call. And Mr. Alan Cole, are you on?
I am on.
Awesome. Ultimate Beatdown 14 is now you and me at the start of the show right now.
Oh my god, don't put the pressure on, will you?
All right, we'll start off. Yeah,
How's it going? What's it like? You floating on air?
nah, I'm okay. I suck, dude.
Dude, shut up. I know that you've been talking about this earlier, but let's be honest. Tell the people what you were wearing after the fight for most of the evening.
Jeans.
You're walking around bare-chested, strutting. You were strutting your stuff around for all the crowd to see. And then eventually you sort of went off with your lady, so everybody could see your lovely lady. You were like pomp. You were pumping yourself around. Mr. Pomp, look at me. Look how awesome I am. Dude, I've got to say, I've been talking to people here tonight, Sebastian and a few others, and they remember when you came to the gym,
Uh-huh.
and they said, Alex kicked your ass. Okay, you were only rolling in for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Alex kicked your ass.
All right.
Right? It was all over you. When I told them you'd had 1 month's training, they were like, what? That just shows what you've done in 1 month. Is to be able to take something like Alex, who's trained for years and years and years, and okay, he doesn't get it all, alright, but he's been training for many years, and in 1 month, what Suman said earlier might have sounded funny, or might even have been frank, might have sounded funny, or you're a natural, but the reality is, a lot of what you did in there wasn't what somebody with 1 month's training does.
Yeah,
You were
man.
much more composed than that, brother. You were thinking. You weren't just swinging wildly. You weren't just like sort of fish out of water on your back on the ground. You were thinking. It was seriously highly entertaining, and I know that you could hear it. And because you said about it earlier about the crowd calling your name.
Yeah.
Well, you had the guys from the teams you'd been training at calling your name like crazy. Then occasionally Alex would get a bit, and then that side of the audience would go up. And it was hilarious. I mean, it was like, you saw, I mean, let's go into sort of the whole Ultimate Beatdown thing. So, you're aware of the history of Ultimate Beatdown, you know where we came from. We just got this venue, alright? And as I'm sure you saw, this is a beautiful venue for MMA.
It is.
Okay?
Exactly, it is.
We've been killing each other over the last few months, me and my guys, or weeks, trying to get this thing together. And it all came together on a night. However, as you saw, the people of Johor didn't support us.
Yeah, man.
You know, I was super bummed. We had superb sponsors. We had big companies sponsoring us to the extent that actually, you know, we may get a chance to do another show even though the crowds didn't turn up because it doesn't look like Edu City will lose any money on this event because of the sponsors.
All right.
But we had a great venue. We had loads of great fights. I think the show went on too long. I'm sure you'll agree with that.
Yeah.
We probably could do with five less fights. But come on, overall, a lot of those fights most of the fights went to decision. So the matchmaking was very good. The quality of the fights was overall, I would say, very, very good. Some superb stuff going on there. The only thing missing really was the crowd. I mean, what we had was maybe 400 people.
Yeah, man,
You know?
that sucks. Considering UB13, you guys had 800 people.
Yeah, well, we had that right in the centre of town, though, and although these guys travel from Johor to Singapore daily for work, apparently driving 20 minutes up the road to Johor for an event isn't worth the effort, which is kind of heartbreaking. But to be fair, I mean, on the other side, we had a month to promote it, and we weren't particularly good at that because we needed to do much more pre-event stuff, talking to fighters, talking to people like you, and sort of really getting it going. But we got it done the first time. You know, that's the first time in that venue. I think the venue proved itself. We just need to bring in the people.
Yeah, that's true, man. The part that sucks is that Sean didn't let me watch the fights that were happening before my fight because he is gonna fuck my mind up. But people were telling me the ladies' fight was awesome.
Well, they always are. I don't think I've seen a bad ladies fight.
That
Women just go for it, don't they?
yeah, they just
You know?
exactly, man. You saw the fight. You tell me what's happening. I didn't know what happened.
Oh, I mean that first lady. Okay, we started off with a couple of kickboxing bouts.
Mm-hmm.
Not really fussed about kickboxing in MMA events, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
And as we saw by the event, you know, timing, we definitely didn't need it to fill the event because it was way too long anyway. So you had Samantha Tan from Muay Fit, KL, versus Andrea Tan from Hip Fitness and KL.
Mm-hmm.
And Samantha Tan won it by decision, but she was a tiny little thing, and she was awesome. I mean, very, very skillful. If you're going to ask me for a review of how the fight went, you're talking to the wrong guy, because I was trying to be timekeeper and trying to sort of meet and greet people and trying to push various idiots away that were trying to talk to me while I'm trying to do timekeeping. So I can't really give you a good rundown on, you know, each individual fight.
Uh-huh.
I know that one went to decision, and it was a really good fight. But, you know, it wasn't about an individual fight. It's about a whole evening. But if it is about an individual fight, the fight of the night was who?
Mine.
Yours was the fight of the night. Now, seriously, there was no colluding in this. This was an overall decision by the 4 guys that run Ultimate Beatdown.
Okay, who are the 4
That
guys?
was the fight of the night. Sorry, myself,
Uh-huh.
Kim Lee Tan, who's a 1FC official,
Alright.
Melvin Yo, who's a 1FC fighter,
Alright.
and Tom, who's another director of 1FC, also works, sorry, not 1FC, of Ultimate Beatdown. We chose the fight, and I'll tell you why we chose it.
Why?
Because, first of all, entertainment-wise, it was massive. You two just went at it. Secondly, the crowd loved it. And what more than anything, any MMA event should be about is entertainment. You know, we can sell tickets to bring people in to watch fights, but then the fights have to deliver. And you two guys just went for it. And to me, the thing about it all, I mean, okay, there was no real hate between the two of you before the event anyway. You know, you're not like that. You're not that kind of person. And frankly, anybody being threatened by Alex isn't going to take much notice of it anyway. But
Yeah.
after the fight, it was great just to see you two sort of, you know, basically cuddling each other and sort of talking to each other. And I just thought, you know, I know Alex was heartbroken.
Oh.
But he wants to fight you again. He wants to learn how to do.
Wow.
Forget what Simon Mokhtarian said. The people want this as well.
Oh man. Okay, we'll put that on hold. I'm not gonna say yes or no yet. I'm telling you, what I'm gonna tell you is that fighting in that cage for 9 minutes is easy, but training, man, to go in, day out is fucking tiring. Training is a bitch, man.
Well, if it was easy, everybody would do it, wouldn't they?
Exactly.
And, you know, I think that, what you just said actually, though, for any aspiring MMA fighter is the thing they don't realise. I'm shocked when we had the MEMA thing come down to Johor for the tryouts. We had guys walking in 2 weeks before the event saying they were going to take part in MEMA. They'd never trained before. You know? Now, But unlike you, you've been around gyms for a long time and you understand the sport. These guys are just, oh, this will be good. We're going to do this, and they thought they could do it in 2 weeks. It takes years.
Yeah, it takes years.
Suman
Man.
and those guys, they've spent their lives in a gym.
Exactly.
My son Sebastian spent 3.5 years training under Melbourne before he managed to get into Evolve, and he's over there, trains. And he basically trains 4 days a week there and does 1 day a week of classes here. So he's doing 5 days a week. He's like even a professional. It's a freaking hard life. I mean, look at Nick, your new best friend, Nick Harris.
Yeah.
You think back to him maybe a year or so ago, his body is completely different shape.
Exactly.
He's lost weight. He's kind of got more lean, more muscle, but less bulk. The guys, you can't achieve that through diet. You achieve that through damn hard work.
Yeah, man, and he has fight intelligence now. He knows what to do in the cage. He's not like a brawler back then.
But this is the other thing that I really liked. I saw that you were at F3, weren't you? You were at F3.
Yeah.
I saw the highlights reel for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, the quality in Malaysian MMA is definitely rising.
Exactly.
It was piss poor when I first came here. It was pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the stuff in F3 was good high level stuff. And some of the stuff, I'm so pleased that we had an event where we had Evolve, we had Impact MMA, we had Moyfit, we had Carabao, we had, teams from all over the bloody place. Ritual,
Yeah.
Monarchy MMA. It's just like the support is now coming through. And not only that, it used to be 2 or 3 gyms. And now there's just so many gyms come through. And they're not all McDojos, Some of these are top quality stuff.
Exactly, man.
You've been up to Monarchy. You've seen the layout those guys have got at Monarchy. That's a great gym. It's a beautifully laid out gym, Monarchy MMA in KL. Where were you training in Singapore?
Team SC.
Okay, and where were they? I don't even know about them. Who are they?
It's basically a gym run by probably one of the best strength and conditioning coach in Singapore, Sean Chia. He was actually given an opportunity to work at Evolve as a strength and conditioning coach, but instead he chose to open up his own gym because he wants to see our local boys rise. He wants a gym whereby he can produce the local guys in Singapore to move up. Yep.
I mean, I think for you now, your reporting is going to change because before it's just like me. I've never fought. I've never been in a cage. I've only stood on the outside, and it's very easy to criticise a bad fight or criticise a fighter because I've never done it. I know the kind of work that goes into it, but you really know what goes into it now. You've actually had to do the training. You know how miserable it makes you feel. Obviously you never had to do a weight cut because you're too damn skinny. But you know how miserable this thing can be, and then to get in the cage and maybe not to win. I mean, I can understand why Alex was so heartbroken, because regardless of how the fact he'll never be a great fighter if he lives to be 1,000,000 years old, he still put his heart and soul into that fight. He still wanted to sort of come away with that win, and I think it sort of stands to his well, for me, I mean, he gained my respect.
Mm-hmm.
Because Alex is the clown.
Yep.
We all like to make fun of Alex. Alex works at our gym. We all like to make fun of him. He's the class clown. He's a village idiot at times. He has his moments, but sometimes he's a real fool. And he went out there and he had a great fight with you. You guys were dead straight up together at the end, and it was like the guy earned respect. And that's the thing you can do in that cage. And there's nobody else in Malaysian MMA, in Singapore reporting can say they've been in the cage and had a fight. Only you can do that, bro.
Yeah, that's true, man.
And it wasn't a set piece fight. It wasn't a set up fight. It wasn't like given to you on a platter. It was no meat fight. It was 2 guys who were evenly matched, who stayed. You guys did 3-4 rounds, and you looked like you'd done 3-4 rounds at the end. You did 3 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, and
come on.
And bloody Tom says 1 more round. Fuck him.
Yeah, no, I suggested that. That's why I said Sebastian in.
Oh my god, you guys are crazy.
Well, no, because the crowd were freaking loving it. I thought we could get another one out of you two. We could get a winner out of this. There's no way you were both going to finish 4 rounds. But what was your overall feeling? I mean, obviously you weren't there for seeing all the events, but you were there for the sort of the behind the scenes side of it. What was it like behind the scenes?
Okay, I'm telling you, the first time I'm going into the stadium itself and seeing how cool it was, I was okay. I was good. I was really good. I met F3 Boss Mazuki. I met so many guys. All the Impact guys. I met Samir. I met Silvio from Brazilian Fight Club. I met so many guys. All of them were my friends, and I'm happy. I'm surrounded with people. And then they threw me into the fighters' room, and that sucks, man. I'm telling you, I was nervous as shit. I keep peeing in the toilet. It really sucks. I told Sean
Did you have something?
Yeah?
Did you think you belonged in there?
No.
Did you feel like a little boy on his first day of school?
Yeah, exactly. Like people were all looking at me and they know that I'm nervous. There was this guy from T-Rex. I didn't get his name, but he looks at me and your first fight. And I say, yeah. I told him my first and only fight. And I say, why? I said, I'm a journalist. I'm just doing this for experience. And Nick Lee was inside, and most of the guys, the Fight G guys, Brett Robinson was inside, and I was thinking to myself, oh my god, I don't belong in this fucking room. These guys are real fighters. I just trained for 1 month, and it really sucks for that. I don't know, maybe 1 hour and a half, just sitting in that room. I wouldn't want to go through that again. It really sucks, man. And then going out for the fight, I saw Fauzin giving me some support. Then I saw you, and I saw Sebastian, I saw Safwan, I saw a few Ultimate MMA guys. And when I was in the cage, it just feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels good. The whole fight for me just feels good. It's just that in the second round when I was giving Alex that ground and pound, and I saw his face, and I was thinking to myself, no, I don't want my face to be like that. So Alex just went out and brawled. The next thing I know, take down. I just put my head on his body and lay and pray. Even though I keep criticizing fighters for that style of fight, but in the third round, I know I was winning. I just wanted to keep it safe. Sucks, but yeah, a win is a win.
He's got a very bloodshot eye this morning.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I've got to go to the hospital. I told him not to be such a pussy. But, you guys both did. And here's the deal, brother. In a few weeks' time, you better go on Sheerdog, see your name, you'll be 1-0. That's true.
Oh my,
All our stuff's on Sheerdog, brother. You will be on Sheerdog 1-0.
It's crazy, man. I'm telling you, winning the fight and everything was okay. Because my main concern is that I'm hoping that I could be an inspiration for others to step up and train and start fighting as well. Because I believe the more fighters we have, the more interest there will be for MMA. Fighters are.
I'll tell you. I mean, the person actually for that is Fosun.
Yeah.
You've met that guy. He has been supporting our events probably for 4 years, if not more. Okay, and when they first started, him and his brother, no gym to train at, nobody to train them. They'd occasionally come down to Johor, but they're in Malacca. It's a three-hour drive.
Yeah.
So occasionally they would come and train with Melvin, but that's like 1 day here, 1 day there, very far apart. Those guys, one of them's in 1FC. The other one's just won on the night, which was so good. He got submission of the night. So he's a happy monkey as well. He got 500 ringgit as well. So those guys have really, it's very easy to be a great fighter when you have great gyms around you and you can afford to train. Him and his brother, they literally were training in a field or training anywhere they could.
Yeah, I understand, man.
So, they're a real inspiration. And then what you're doing is kind of moving it another level. It's like, you're not even really a fighter, you're just somebody that wants to sort of love fighting and wanted just to sort of experience what it's like. You didn't want to make a career out of it.
Yeah, exactly, not.
That's awesome, brother. It really truly is. So, when you saw that stadium, did you like, hang on, what happened? This is Ultimate Beatdown. I'm in the wrong place.
Nah, to tell the truth, bro, when you guys were planning for it like months ago, I remember you posting on Facebook that stadium, and in my mind, I know that's gonna be the place for Ultimate Beatdown. So So I was not really surprised because I kind of know what's gonna happen. Like I was very close in contact with you, Melvin, and Tom, so I kind of know everything that's going on. But seriously, it's a freaking cool place. The
You just got to get the people in there, brother.
Yeah, you just gotta fill that up, man. I'm telling you, it once what I think that should happen is that there are plenty of good fights that I have seen. I've seen the fight between Ashraf Bull from Evolve and Qmary from Team Evolution India was an awesome fight.
Wasn't it just?
Yeah, Andy Tay and Nizam White Tiger Rahman was an awesome fight as well. Both guys just delivered punches, crazy. George versus Fauzin. Basically, Fauzin just wanted the ground, and he was not just laying and praying. He was looking for the submission all the way. So Fauzin is up there. I just have to give respect, mad respect to Nico for fighting a guy who's had huge weight advantage over him. Neo and Susovan did a real great job. Even though Susovan controlled him on the ground, there was a very good uppercut by Neo. Gary Tang versus Nick Lee was awesome. I was waiting for Nick to throw that flying knee, and Gary Tang took 3 in the face like a boss, man.
Honestly, I have to say, I mean, I enjoyed that fight. I think it was a really good, well-matched fight. But Gary Tang was definitely winning that fight all the way. And then Nick Lee, and you have to be there to see it. Literally, full-on knees to the face, 3 in a space of probably less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Full-on, probably less than 5 seconds, and they were big ones. And Gary Tang survived them, and then sort of went on to win the fight.
Yeah, he even tried on it. Yeah, he even tried on a triangle choke at the end. It was crazy. Gary Tang's ground is crazy, man.
It was nice also to see Trestle Tan win his fight against Mahmoud Kamal.
Yeah, I saw the video. I actually came off after Nick Lee's fight because the guys were late.
Yeah, of course you did. You wanted to pose around town. You're the man around town, dude. But, I mean, that was great because I know that he wants to get into 1FC, and he's fought, obviously, Nick, and I believe he's fought Nick, and he's definitely fought Brad. He lost to Brad at the last event.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants a chance at 1FC. And he's such a lovely guy, and it was so nice to see him sort of get the win. So that was very cool. I'll tell you a fight I enjoyed, and this is a guy that, if there's any gym out there that wants to sort of take a guy that has all it takes to be a star, but the time and the money to do it, it's a guy that fights out of Ultimate MMA, and his name is Raymond Bay.
Oh, yeah. My girl was telling me that he's awesome.
Oh, every time I've seen him fight, he just smiles all the way through the fight. He always ends up sort of being on his back foot in like the first round. It's like he always kind of like has to be almost prodded to sort of start really reacting.
Mm-hmm.
At every fight, if you go and check out some of his videos, if there's any on YouTube, I would love to see somebody like Evolve give him a chance, because genuinely, I think he's a short guy, he's a little guy, but I think with the right team, he could easily be a big star somewhere like 1FC. I'm not talking a star, a big Malaysian star. He has got so much skill, got so much heart, and he just, he gets punched and he just carries on like nothing happened, and he's always got skill at the end of it as well. Plus he's got a great look. He has that kind of monk look, kind of looks like a Buddhist monk. He's sweet. He's a great guy. If you ever get a chance to sort of see him fight, honestly, Evolve MMA. Pick up this kid, or if not, Evolve one of your other Singapore ones. Talk to this guy. This is a guy you could make into a star.
Yeah, man. I saw him after the fight, and I'm telling you, this guy is an ultimate beatdown veteran.
Yeah.
Exactly. This guy is an ultimate beatdown veteran, and it's just a shame that I didn't see it. I'm hoping for the highlights, man. When are you going to get the highlights out, the video highlights out?
Well, we're doing it properly. So we physically, this time, instead of like some of the messes we've done in the past, this time we have paid our own videographers. We had 3 cameras there. We paid them to be there. We've paid them to create a highlight reel, and we paid them to create individual fight videos. Okay? The highlight reel, I think we're trying to get out within 3 weeks. He's got 9 hours of film, 3 cameras to break down into a highlight reel film. Okay? and then the individual ones we're going to get done as soon as we can as well. So you'll have a copy of your own fight, a good quality copy as opposed to just like an outside cage copy. So that should be really sweet. And so every fight will eventually be able to be found online.
Yeah, that is awesome for the fighters, and that's awesome for the event. I believe a short video clip showing the level and quality of the fights in Ultimate Beatdown 14 would gain more support for Ultimate Beatdown 15, and I believe that will be in September.
Well, let's not get carried away. I have to I'm going away next week or this week because it's my 25th anniversary. Yeah. And,
Wow! Congratulations, man.
Thank you. And I'm only 30 years old. And I will be coming back. So around about the 26th, I'm then going to try and arrange a meeting with the guys at Edgy City, and we're going to see. I mean, by our reckoning, if all of the sponsors cough up the money, and that might be a problem, if all of the sponsors cough up the money, we think that Edgy City won't have paid much more than maybe 1,500 ringgit for the whole event. So as a marketing thing, that's incredibly cheap.
Yeah, man.
So based upon that fact, if we can get them to say yes to another one, I mean, realistically for that, we only needed a few more, a couple of hundred people, that would have been in profit for them.
Exactly, man.
And realistically, I'm sure if they break even, they'd be happy at this stage because it's about getting people there. But the next one, it's going to be, if it is September, we're going to have a couple of months to really build up the sort of momentum to it. We'll have proper films out, we'll be able to really do it. We didn't do it right this last time, but there was so much background stuff going on, and it took them so long to make the decision to go ahead with it that everything was moving so fast. We actually had less than a month to prepare the whole event, so it was a bit difficult, to say the least.
But
we'll be back.
But you guys did it. I believe the event went smoothly. From the start of the first fight till the end of the fight, it went pretty smoothly.
We had cock-ups. We had cock-ups. We had a couple of fights where we had the script had the corner wrong.
Yeah.
That was what given was the script we were given was wrong, so we had the corners wrong. So in one we actually announced the wrong fighter as the winner. That was our fault, nobody else's fault. So we did that. We had another one. It was a 10-point must system, and on one of them we actually gave a draw, which we shouldn't be able to do on a 10-point must. Should be able to do sort of a winner based on points. So, but I think it was actually a draw because I think we had 10-10, 10-9, 10-9. So it would have been a draw, but based upon how we did it, we could have done it on points, and it would have been probably wrong. So we made a couple of cock-ups, and they were genuinely our own fault, nobody else's fault but us. But ultimately, hey, cool. Ultimately beat down Lee. I think, considering where we started 4.5 years ago in a gym, it ain't bad. It ain't bad. It just needs a crowd. If we had a crowd there, brother, and had an atmosphere, I'd have been a very happy little monkey.
Yeah, just
now, September, we already have a name for the event.
Wow.
Because this was UB14 Edgy City. Okay. UB15 has Wally versus the Blur.
Fuck off.
It's already written. So
okay, listen. You keep those plans in your pocket. I need to find stable job first. Then after that, we'll talk about scheduling for training and stuff.
New job is fighter. Dude, it's a great story for yourself.
Yeah,
Cameras following you all the way through the whole event, and you put them on YouTube.
Yeah, I know it would be a great story, and I know it would be so good for MMA. It's hard for me to turn it down, but to say yes also is not the right time. I'm just waiting for the right time to say yes to it. Maybe.
Oh, okay. You got to build up to it, huh? Wanted to beg you.
Oh man! I tell you what.
If it doesn't happen, Alex is going to call you a coward and all sorts of nasty things.
Yeah, I expect that too. So. I tell you what. I have to get down to reps this week to collect my bonus.
I don't know. You need to talk to Tom. So I don't know where the money is.
Yeah. Tom told me he banking to Kim.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but Kim's not here. You fool. He's in Bali.
Yeah, so I have to wait till Kim back in Bali. I want to get that fight of the night.
Next week. Yeah, you should. You guys earned it.
Yeah.
Alex followed me up to the office this morning expecting to take it out of my hand, but I didn't have it. He was after it as well. There you go. But dude, going back, let's just sort of get this on because I know you don't want to be all night. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think what you did was something special. That's why you were the only person who got interviewed on the night, because I think your story was great. Although then your foul mouth obviously spoils it in front of the children. Boy. And I really appreciate what you did. I love the fact that after it you were just strutting around with your shirt off, and then you got your girlfriend, and like you could see how proud she was of you. It was quite inducing, really. And thank you for your support. And I want to say, well, I've got the opportunity here. Thank you to all of the gyms that supported us, all of the people. We had fighters from India. I mean, that Team Relentless, those Team Relentless guys have been to, I think, our last 3 or 4 events. They come from India, for God's sake.
Yeah,
I
man.
love these people.
And they are legit fighters.
They are legit. Susharan Ghosh, ex-1SC fighter, in our midst. Awesome. And he's a lovely guy. They're a great team. They're so damn humble. It takes them so long to get to where we are. We had guys from Borneo, Carabao, which was great to see those guys there. Obviously, we get the guys from KL down, and then quite a few gyms in Singapore. We couldn't do this. None of this matters without the fighters and the team supporting us. And the good thing and the sad thing for us is the good thing is there is more choices around now with F3 and Rebel and 1SC. Okay, not 1SC, that's too far. But F3, Rebel certainly fight. Sort of after the same kind of fighters. You got Full Metal Dojo now. They're all after the same kind of fighters. So the fact that occasionally they decide to come to our event is big for us. And long may it rain.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you to all the guys who actually worked their ass off to set up this event. It was a great opportunity for fighters. As I said, if there are no events, fighters wouldn't have a platform to fight. If there are no fighters, then there wouldn't be any event. So you guys have to work together. And I believe, I'm telling you, Ultimate Beatdown will be the biggest amateur event in the whole of Southeast Asia come 1-2 years time. Because I have some contacts with Filipinos promotion as well, and they want to do some cross promotion with promotions in Singapore and Malaysia, and I think Ultimate Beatdown will be ready for that.
Well, let me just say, because I know that Suman's always full of himself on this, just in case anybody thinks that we just make loads of money out of this, the guys who put the cage up started with me and a few others. I left in a strop after like 7 hours because we were nowhere near getting the cage ready. Those guys worked all night to get the cage up. The following day when I came in, it still wasn't finished. We eventually got it finished, and obviously we had that huge late night, and then the following morning I was in at 10 a.m. That cage wasn't gone until 7, and the guys who'd been working the night before were working there, sweating their asses off because we weren't allowed the air conditioning on the non-fight nights, and our guys work their asses off. I mean, really, the amount of stuff that goes on behind the scenes for just for any event, and this is not just us, but any event, for mainly people volunteering, is unbelievable. And we ain't making money out of this, kid. I promise you.
I understand, man.
I think we could potentially, if all the sponsors pay up, which is a massive fear for us at the moment, because if they don't, we are going to be hugely in debt here. But if they all pay up, we will actually come out in the green for a change, which will be great, but all that money is getting spent to improve the cage, because it just needs to be put together much less than the 12 to 16 hours it's taking at the moment, which is crazy. But I like what you say. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if we ever will be that big, but we're certainly up to try to be that as well. It'd be great.
Now, as long as you guys work your ass off, I'm telling you, it will be that big.
We will.
Yep, exactly,
We have
man.
to. We've committed to it. Brother, thank you very much.
Alright, man. Thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you for organizing Ultimate Beatdown as well.
Anytime.
Alright, guys, that's it for us tonight. Thank you, Frank Barca. Thank you, Casey Schweier. Thank you, Suman. Thank you, Ian NT. And thank you, Alan Cole. We'll be back next week.
UB15 has Wadi versus the Blur 2.